what's happened to me, not very often, but sometimes, is that sometimes I start to record a topic and then I end up giving up. Like, have you ever had that where you started to record a topic or wanted to do a topic and then you're like, you know what, this is just too
I
difficult?
haven't had that scenario. I think I've had videos I've redone just because of like I wasn't a fan of how it came out. But I don't think I've ever given up on a
Mm.
topic before. If it's something, I'm pretty dedicated to like try to finish whatever I start with it. Especially because like if you start recording it, then you've already. For me, I put in a lot of work beforehand before I even like click the record button. I like to make sure everything's like planned out and I have
Yeah.
a way to attack it. So if I ever get to the record stage, I've already put in a lot of work and I don't want to like, waste it. I think it's important like if it's something that I might not be able to cover, I think it would have been caught earlier in the process. So yeah, for every video I try to create like a flow of how I'm going to go through the topic and what points I'm going to cover. And like I mean from that flow it becomes like relatively easy. I don't have a it's like a bullet point checklist of what I want to cover, especially if you have some code. Then I have my explain this part before the code with the iPad, and then get to the code part. So in the iPad, I'll have like bullet points of exactly what I need to go through, explain, and then once I have if I have that set up pretty well, if the video is well prepared, it usually goes pretty smoothly from the recording part.
So actually, then how much preparation time do you do for
It
each
definitely
video?
depends on the video, but it's the preparation. So a big factor for it is if there's code or not. That's necessary because creating a demo app, of course, takes like time and trying to figure out a way to write some code that helps people learn about what the heck you're trying to teach them about. I think that's kind of the biggest
Hmm.
time factor, but um, usually the recording and editing part is like the smallest part of the process. That's kind of just the last stage. I think setting up takes anywhere if there's code, probably takes a couple days to get it organized. Um, if there's no code, maybe like I could get it all planned out within like 3 to 4 hours, and then like 2 to 3 hours maybe, and then get ready for recording and all that.
Now, what it's happened to me before, but I'm curious if it ever happened to you. Has there ever been a topic where you're like, this topic is going to be fantastic, people are going to love it, and then it's not as popular as you thought, or even the other way around, where you're like, you know, this is just kind of interesting, but not so great, but it kind of just blew up
Um,
overnight.
so yeah, I mean that happens. That happens a lot. I feel like I have different expectations for like different videos, but like my biggest like failure or whatever, my worst video that I've ever done on my YouTube channel
Hmm.
is I tried to kind of pivot to something more broad. And my thought process was like, oh, this is going to be, I wanted to go through teaching development overall, like not just Flutter and Dart. And I decided to do it
Hmm.
using Python. I'm like, all right, this will teach development overall. Python's a bigger like industry. There's going to be a ton of viewers that are going to join this and watch this. Even though, and then like people that have learned that are learning Flutter, this will be still useful to them because it's still learning development overall, kind of like ingrain all their skills even deeper. And put out that video, and then nobody watched it. I tried to put a second video on it, nobody watched it, and then I'm like, all right, we gotta wrap this up and get back to what I'm good at.
Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. And then there's also, has there ever been anybody actually came back to you and were like, hey, this is actually pretty good. Why don't you continue it for that
Yeah, they
Python
did.
series videos you're working
There's a
on?
couple comments that said they really enjoyed the video and wanted more, but um, I mean, there's a lot more on the other videos that they enjoyed those. So it's kind of you kind of weigh the um,
Yeah.
return on the time, and how many people it helps. And it seems like the Flutter videos help a lot more people.
Yeah, I think that's really the big problem. So I was also similar situation when I started mine. Like there was a lot more books than anything else, and also yeah, there wasn't that much
Mhm.
content in general though. So I thought that was a good idea to get into that. Um, but yeah, anyways, why don't we go ahead and actually start getting back to like the
Sure.
main topic, right? So with Flutter coming out 2.0, I know it's been a while, right? So we're recording this on April 14th. It's been some time. The dust has settled, right? What's kind of your feeling about this? Like, do you really think it's the topic of this is always like, is it a big deal, right? And, I want to hear your side.
Um, I think it's a depends on how you look at it. If you're looking at it from like um a big, like you want to get products out now type of like thought process, you want to create web products right now. I'm not too sure Flutter Web is the best solution for all the websites, and I think that was the big release. But in terms of seeing that they're working on the product and how fast it's moving along yet, and that I read somewhere that the big reason wasn't necessarily to say Flutter Web is, ready to go, ready to be used, but to show that they're fully supporting it and to help people like make packages for it and help like the whole community grow and start using Flutter Web slowly. And I think that's kind of that's why I think it is a big move and um, interesting to I think it's a great way forward to that they're gonna be like officially supporting Flutter Web for now. And I don't know. I'm excited for it, and all the things that they announced, all the companies that are working on it, all the projects that they showed, the different things they're doing. It makes me excited for the future of Flutter, and it's great to see that they're moving forward with everything that they initially planned. Like a little part of me was like thinking maybe they wouldn't move forward with web since Android and iOS was working so well together, and maybe web was going to be like an afterthought. But it seems like they're really bringing it forward, and like it's not just like they said an afterthought, but it's the main product as well.